You're live.
Yeah. We are live in the lab. Yeah, the camera. Oh. You gotta get yourself in there, couple.
Do I have to be on this too? Wow, no, that looks so good. John, you looking clean today, buddy.
Well, thank you, sir.
You like it? Let's go a little bit higher.
But act like the camera's not there, you know?
Yeah, don't stare at the
You
camera
don't
the whole
stare.
time. Jeez,
You
John,
don't
stop
stare
staring
down
at the
the
camera.
audience.
You ever been
Yeah,
on
I
this
see
show
this.
They're
before?
already stared at you.
Oh
You
my
don't
gosh.
know.
Oh,
All right, we're recording in 3, 2, 1.
And we are locked in the lab with the professor,
Gosh,
John
I love
Radford, the
that.
best beard in the game.
Oh, thank
He wears his hat tilted to the side,
oh.
and he's the only person I know who has a signature beanie with his own name on it.
You really?
Talk about egotistical. He has to have his name on a
It
beanie.
glows in the dark. too.
Relax,
Is that
Conor
right?
McGregor over there.
I know.
It glows in the dark, right?
Your name glows in the dark.
Yes, it does.
And it doesn't even say his full
Holy
name, it
shit.
says Rad.
It just says red.
Like you're supposed to know his name is
Okay.
Radford.
My-
I don't want to go there because I know your lovely girlfriend. I love her. She's a great gal. I think that's how you say it. But it glows in the dark.
That's terrible. David Van Auken
That's
right here,
me.
myself,
That's me.
Max
It's-
Van Auken,
It's from all the Mountain Dew.
Oh gosh.
a racetrack cup too.
All right, Henry Cejudo, DJ Dillashaw.
Wow, that's all I can say about that. Wow,
I know.
wow,
Cheesy.
wow.
He
Is that
called it.
what, are we starting with that? Let's
Yes,
start with
we're
that.
starting with
yeah,
that.
that's we got to start with that.
I
Right?
had TJ winning, and
I
I was
did too.
praising up and down. We'll get into Pacquiao too, but I thought TJ was going to defeat Henry Cejudo, no secret.
I think-
And then
I think most people did.
yeah, and then he gets knocked out within
32 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, 32 seconds. Not even a minute.
And now they're talking about if Henry Cejudo wants, if he said if TJ wants the rematch, that it has to be at
He
135.
offered him at 135.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
It's confusing.
Yeah, I didn't like. For one, they opened up the flyweight because Joseph should get the title shot. Beat Henry in the past.
Yes, I also just saw that he won, or that he received another 4-fight contract. Like somewhere, I think I read that he received another 4-fight contract at flyweight. So it's
Oh, yeah.
really confusing. Like I don't know it's.
He kept it alive, he said.
I hope that Cejudo won and
Yeah.
kept it alive like
Oh,
he
me
wanted
too.
to. But offering at 135, I get that. But why are you running away from 125 now if you wanted to keep it so bad? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think he wants to become a champ like everybody else becomes a champ.
Well, then when does somebody become a champ? How does that happen?
Well,
Do you go up another 2 or do you go down another 2? What is it?
Well, TJ did say that. He goes, he wants to beat Henry and then go up 10 to fight Max. He actually did say that. He wanted to be a champ. But let me just throw this out here just a little bit. Just every fighter in the world, just calm down a little bit. We talk about a guy, Anderson Silva, 8 years, 7 years, 6 years, undefeated. Let people develop in your weight class. Why does it always have to be, oh, I won the title. I already want the next shot at I want a champ. Like, just beat 4 or 5 people. Let someone young develop in your weight class. We saw the guy, the third fight, Gregory Gillespie, right?
Gregor Gillespie.
Gillespie. John's great at names. He's a future contender. I think he's a stud.
Oh, he's a hell of a wrestler.
That's
and
and
he loves and he
Habib.
he has good timing on the takedowns from the hands, and he actually has some pretty good pop in his hands when he lands punches.
So let him develop into a killer, to a contender. It's like
Absolutely.
Henry's like, for one, Joseph's the number 1 contender, just won a fight, and you lost to him. You have to beat that guy. I think he needs to revenge that loss. Like, I love when Conor lost to Diaz. He goes, no, I want that snap back. I want my loss back.
Yeah.
Henry should be going after Joseph.
I get that. I don't care who he goes after in the flyweight, but if you just save the flyweight, that's what you're trying to do. You know,
Fight flyweight.
fight.
There should be a rule. Like if you're not a big pay-per-view draw, right? Because that's what Dana says. Like, oh, you're not a big pay-per-view draw, so you can't demand a super fight. Why doesn't he make this almost like a rule? You have to defend your belt twice. Unless you're breaking pay-per-view records like a Conor McGregor or a Brock Lesnar, God forbid he gets a belt.
The greatest heavyweight of all
All I'm
time.
saying is, why doesn't he create this rule where you have to defend your belt? Because are you truly a champion if you haven't defended your belt?
No, I would say across combat sports, if you've never once defended your belt, then you're not you weren't really you didn't you're not a champion that way. You were a champion, but you weren't I guess defending champion is a really good term for the legacy, I guess you said.
Yeah, you got to put stock in title defenses.
Yeah,
You got to defend your title.
You have to. You have to defend it. Like you have to.
So there should be a
the
rule.
more consecutive title defenses you have, I think, really means a lot
So there should
in
be
a combat
rule.
sport.
Totally agree. That's why I love Silva's title defense and GSP titles defenses. John Jones had a hell of a run.
Yeah.
I give him credit for that 6, 7, 8 run.
Demetrius Johnson. I mean,
Yes,
his was
yeah.
So
forever.
should there be a rule?
Jose Aldo. There should. I don't think there should be a rule. The reason I think there's not going to be a rule, and even if there should be a rule, yes or no doesn't. That's not really the point I'm about to make here. Is that as soon as you make that rule, something weird is going to happen to where you have to now go against that rule and make this certain fight happen because something's going to happen. It's just going to be weird. It's like Newton's law. Whatever can happen will happen. You know what I mean? Type thing. It's something's going to happen to where you're like, dang it! I just made this rule to where you have to have 6 title defenses before you go up to the next weight category.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, somebody like Conor McGregor, somebody like Ronda Rousey, somebody that's just super polarizing comes in, wins one belt, and you go, I want the next guy up.
Yeah.
Up above me. And you know he's already big for that weight size, and it just makes sense. He's already just ran through 4 people that were in top 5, and he's already calling them out, and he talks really well, whatever it may be. And now you're like, damn, I gotta make this fight.
I feel like combat sports is more like just going with the flow than any other sport. And like that's a really good thing because then you get things that other sports can't present, like
Sure.
such as matchups. Like you're never going to see LeBron James play a team in the West, like a team in the East in the finals. Like it's set up where you always play the best team in the West. Like there's no question about that. But then at the same time, I feel like it does hurt because there's situations like this where, like you just said, that's a really plausible scenario where there is this new up and coming star where you want to see him against this guy and it's the biggest fight ever, but we can't because we established this rule.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you have to live and die by the sword, though. So is it a greater pro by creating this rule, or is it a greater con?
But they'll never live and die by the sword. Money talks.
I was just gonna say that. I was like,
You're not gonna die by the sword. You're gonna be like, no, I'm gonna make 400 million.
yeah, whatever the money fight is.
With this ESPN deal, though, like that's why I was saying it to Jillian Robertson. It's like we have our theory, right? But put our theory to the side. It's like now you're seeing Stephen A. Smith. We talked about it. We didn't get to hear what he said, but you have him on the octagon side. Like I never would see that. Now it's so mainstream now to attract these consumers, and almost is like where your season theory comes into play. And I disagree with it at the moment, and we'll get into it. But my point being is I think they're going to try to brand it where it's almost as comparable to other sports, so there's people that aren't hardcore MMA fans can understand it better. And like if you don't have a certain set of rules, will they ever understand it?
Fox had
hold on, I'm sorry. What does that rule of saying you have to have 6 title defenses matter to people understanding what MMA is about?
Because if you have more structure, it's easier to follow. Maybe not that one particular rule will make them understand it better, but if you implement more rules, it may hurt it.
The rule part, I understand what you're trying to say there, but that rule and that type of thing, that won't matter to anybody when it comes down to it, because we both be looking across from each other at some point back saying, I really want to see that fight. I really hate that
It
rule.
gets set too many restrictions.
You just be like, I really hate that rule that's in place, and I can't see this guy who's young and this guy who's at the peak of his career. And if he has to win 6 title defenses,
I agree.
and this guy might be retiring before that happens.
bottom line. Oh, breaking news! Max Holloway is going to fight Khabib July 5th. We're like, holy crap, guys! All 3 of us will be excited. All 3 of us making plans. My house, your house. We're going to go to Wing House, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't that fight is bigger than any 6 title defenses. The structure of it, that's just how the fight game is. I think it's all about building big fights. I think the season would do that. I think the season can give it structure and give it fights. Or the tournament. I love tournaments. I love the Grand Prix. I love what Bellator's doing. They're creating that Theodore Bader fight next Saturday night. I'm watching it. I watched them through the rankings. I watched the tournament. So I'm kind of hooked. When you put time into something, you watch The Bad Show.
Yeah.
And it's after 8 episodes, there's 2 left. I got to finish it.
Exactly.
I'm running through this.
Exactly.
So if you give a tournament or a season kind of a type, even the Super Bowl, if you're not a Patriot or a Rams fan, you're watching the Super Bowl. You got to see the ending.
I can agree with that because I haven't really cared for most teams in the Super Bowl lately because I don't really have a team for football anymore. So every year though, I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to it. All right, I'm watching. Hopefully it's a good game. You know what I mean?
At first, I thought you were looking at me like it was my fault for some reason. You didn't have a team in the NFL. How did I?
No, I blame you for a lot of things.
I was like, what?
I blame you for a lot of things.
I'm taking away your fan pride in the NFL now.
No,
I gotta add that to the list.
Fantasy football did that.
Let's put a bow on UFC Brooklyn.
Okay.
TJ and Henry.
we can't actually. I'm sorry. We can't put a bow on it.
Well, I was going to talk about it, but I want to tip my hat off to Henry. Like, I didn't think he was going to win. He won. He was phenomenal. I think people are like, oh, Cowboy was amazing and he was the highlight of the night, and Gregory was, and he might fight Conor. We'll talk about that. The Greg Hardy situation. There were so many great fights, but Henry Cejudo was absolutely, no question, the locked-in fighter of the night, right? Like, no question.
Performance of the night, for sure.
That's what I was going to talk about. I do want to get into Greg Hardy situation because we just spoke to someone who's from American Top Team. And when we were watching it, we both thought the same thing immediately. Was he didn't purposely do that.
No.
When you're in the fight, when you're in the heat of the moment and you're running around, you can't necessarily tell that guy had his knee on. It's his first UFC fight, all this hype. But the crowd immediately in the audience and, of course, Twitter automatically assume he's just a bad person because of his past, and he did it on purpose.
I mean, that's not fair. Greg Hardy was last need, Chris Weidman those times, in that fight. Things have happened plenty of times where, I mean, I think it's in the heat of a moment. It's hard. It's hard. And the amount of pressure that was already on him, his first fight, co-main event in the Brooklyn, first show on ESPN on the giant deal. Get out of here, guys. That's a lot of pressure. I don't care who you are.
I was going to say this. Put the controversy aside. What did you think of his performance?
I thought he was doing all right. I thought he was showing that he had solid stand up. He could land punches. Homeboy Alan Crowder took some hard shots.
He did.
And
Chin City.
Yeah, Chin City. He really did. He got chin checked a few times.
Some shit.
He was, and he wrestled him, and I thought it showed how much Greg Hardy knew how to get up. I think a lot of that is pure athleticism, and just he's a powerful human being. I mean, he was an elite, pass rusher in the NFL. That takes amazing, athleticism and power. So
can I play devil's advocate just a little bit on it?
Yeah.
I heard a lot of how the experience, and he didn't know about the knee and that kind of thing. I heard that a lot, right? Can you think a little bit that he was tired? I think he was struggling with his cardio, and it was almost like a home run hitter with 2 strikes, and he was swinging hard. Like, I'm going to hit a home run or I'm going to strike out. And I'm not saying he need him on purpose. I'm not saying that, but he's going for a knee. He wants to knock him out. And even if it's a little bit close, you're kind of still, you're going for it. You're like, I'm going all in on this one. You're going all in with the flesh draw.
He could have done that to the body, though, and did the same thing.
Well, no, the body, usually, you don't knee someone in the body for a knockout.
Well, you could in that position with all that power. His body was exposed like this. If you hit him right there, he's done.
I think if anything it is
just throwing it out.
I think if anything, if the devil has a part, I don't think it's that he's going for a home run, something like that. I think that what you're saying, I think it's just more sheer frustration, maybe. Like he's like, oh, you talk crap in the news. I've been punching you in the face. You're not falling. You've wrestled me down.
And he was like, come on. He was asking for it.
And you're talking mess to me.
Yeah.
I want to hurt you, bro, and we're in a fight. I'm fighting you right now with a lot of rules. There's and when I say a lot of weapons, with the minimalist rules in professional combat sports now, and you have a lot of weapons, and you're in the heat of a moment. I think frustration might have came in there, and he did it on accident. I don't think if he could go back and replay and be like, I didn't even think that was his head. I was just trying to hurt this man. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm supposed to do in there. I'm supposed to beat him.
I understand the devil's advocate of it. So, but all three seem to be on the same page. That is by accident.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think he did it on purpose.
No, you were just bringing up the point of it.
Yeah,
like,
just the point.
What does that mean going forward for him? Who does he like? Maybe you don't know the exact name right now, or maybe you do. Is there a name that comes to mind? Who's next for him?
I say you give that a rematch. Say replay that again. They did that before with
They kind of did with Mir and Lesnar.
Yeah, at one point. Yeah, I replay that one. I want to see that one again. Tell you the truth.
Yeah.
This is also on fightbananas.com, by the way, guys. Fightbananas.com. John Radford is quite the writer over here, breaking down the fights from a different perspective. Dave the Wave throwing out articles left and right. But you mentioned something that we got to get on Fight Bananas. Also, is a lot of boxing.
Yes, there's some good fights coming up here soon. Like PBC is doing a good job with some fights coming up.
And I know we have so much UFC to talk about, so I just wanted to hit on it while we could. Is the Pacquiao-Broner fight. And I showed him the post-interview.
There was a fight?
Yeah.
He averaged 8 punches per round. He threw
It's
one
okay.
punch in the 12th round.
I watched it.
It was okay. I was gonna say it was okay if you missed it, Dave. I
No.
understand. It was
So,
okay if you
listen,
missed it.
all three of us and Liv, we're at the Wing House and we're watching fights. UFC. We have a selfie stick on the
Right there,
ESPN
right
thing
there.
for the
Yep.
fights,
Yep.
the ESPN Plus, and then we're watching the boxing.
Absolutely.
I had the worst migraine headache, the sweats. It was awful.
I felt so bad for you.
I felt one time I saw John looked at me and I'm like, yeah. He's like, you okay? I'm like, no, I don't feel good. I'm like, I need to get headache medicine. So I walked next door to get headache medicine. It was too late. I'm seeing white. I went home.
Yeah.
I couldn't. But when you don't feel good, it's hard to sleep. So I'm literally watching on my phone ESPN fights and I'm watching on my tablet the boxing fight. So I'm watching both. I was so disappointed in AB. So disappointed. I actually thought Manny would look good.
Manny looked energized.
Yeah.
Looked energized.
Yeah, energized. I thought he's got another big fight in him. He has one more left in him.
He could go one more. I don't know who we're gonna put in there with him right now, and I don't want to see him drop any more weight. I want him to fight at a nice.
Especially at 40.
I want him to fight at 150, 155, 147, somewhere in a good weight category for him not to drop a lot. He doesn't need to go down low anymore. I thought he looked very energized. I thought he looked very in shape. He looked like he was ready to go. He took a couple hard shots, only like one or two legitimately hard in the fight.
It was like a big jab.
It was like a big jab. We saw his head snap back a couple times, and then we saw there was a right hand that landed on a pop. But most of the right hands he rolled with really well. But God, AB, man, what is going on?
Yeah, and the post-fight interview was the worst. That and the press conference.
Did
you hear it?
Oh yeah, the press that was the Nance.
Did you hear about the cheeseburger?
Let's let all that aside. All that aside. Let's no, we'll get into the cheeseburger. It's really weird.
Oh
Man.
my
It's a little
God,
bit,
Dave,
it's
the
weird.
cheeseburger.
Give it to me. Oh yeah, I don't want to hear anything else. I want the cheeseburger
Okay,
right now. I need it right now.
This guy literally, here. You reenact AB. You ready?
All right,
John's AB.
Yeah, you're AB. I'm the reporter. You
okay,
ready?
we'll see how
Okay.
this goes.
Anthony, Broner. So we'll go. So Broner, you literally average 8 punches per round. You landed 1 punch in the 12th. Everyone seems to think you lost the fight, but you, for some reason, thought you won the fight.
Mhm.
Do you truly believe in your heart that you won this fight?
Yeah. Yeah. I believe I won the fight. I mean, it's like it's like
This is perfect, by the way.
it's like hey, I got a mic over here, man. Hey, don't make me go off on you. It's a love-hate relationship.
I have a mic too.
It's like when you want you want a cheeseburger. You want cheese on your cheeseburger. It's like, and what you're looking for. Yeah, it was weird, bro. I don't know.
That was
it.
perfect, by the way. Like, that gave me some chills. You need to get in some acting. You like TY Park. That was amazing.
That was
his
weird.
response.
No
lie.
I don't know what he meant. All I can understand is
I got out of it just hearing it is he wants to get paid more to throw more because you have to pay usually more for a cheeseburger. Does that make sense? Are you with me? Burger King,
Better than anything I can come
49 cents you pay extra for a Whopper, you get the cheese.
If AB's listening out there, I
AB.
apologize for the
Oh, don't apologize.
the interview the I don't even know what I just did right there, but
It was perfect.
can you just have an interview with someone and tell me what the cheeseburger meant? Because I'm still confused.
I think I nailed it. I think I nailed it. I
That
think
was
he wants
scary.
cheese.
You even nailed the laugh.
You nailed the
That was
laugh.
good.
No, I never want to see him box again. Is that too wrong? Am I going too harsh? Am I too in the moment?
You never want to go somewhere
Yeah.
that's paying for him
Yeah,
to watch him box.
Yeah,
is what you're
we
saying.
paid for nachos.
We did.
He's 3-3 and
In
1
the-
also.
in
It
the
wasn't worth my nachos.
Wasn't worth it.
The nachos were better than the fight.
Nachos were pretty decent.
But Pacquiao, all respect to Pacquiao, you look good. You look solid.
I liked him.
You
I
look
really
solid.
did.
You look solid.
When you're 3-3 and 1 in boxing, that's when it starts to go. Especially.
Hey, I'd be 7-0 versus you. I'd be 7-0 versus. What is
He's
that
like-
about, man?
he's
You're
like, that
talking to an
doesn't say much.
announcer.
He's like, This
Yeah.
interview's over now.
Yeah. It's like why?
You said it though. In boxing, I'm like, that sucks. There's so much pressure on every fight. You're like, yeah, well, early in your career, you can you're learning, you're young.
I think-
Even Lomachenko has a loss, but it's understandable because it was who he fought at the time he fought him. But at this point in Broner's career, to be 3-3 and 1 is not the same at all.
No, but it's also like I really believe that he just believed his own hype so much, and I think the hype was legitimized. I don't think at all in any type of way am I taking away from this man's ability, talent. I don't think he works for. I don't know what. I mean, I can't say what his work ethic is because I don't watch it, but I'm just saying it just seems to me like it's you believe too much in what's going on. Like you're not being realistic with it. You know what I mean? Maybe you're God in the gym and you kill it. Like your sparring sessions are just amazing. You let your hands go. You move. No one's touching you. You feel like invincible. bro, when the lights come on, I don't know what's happening anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Could
It's
be
not
about the
it's not-
block. He's got the hibbits.
that
jibbies.
or he's seeing something that we all just don't see, and he's thinking things are happening.
Or he just doesn't want to fight that much. He just wants the money.
That's a very plausible
I
situation.
mean, I'm just.
Okay.
Very plausible.
I'm breaking it. You ready?
He almost broke the table.
I know, that
What's
too.
going on here?
Woodley Usman, Till Mazadov, Wonderboy Pettis. Holy shit. Like, these are,
Which one's your favorite?
I told him, my favorite fight of the whole 6 months.
I mean, Woodley Usman.
I love that.
You said that was your favorite.
No, that was for 235 because of the Jones and all that.
Oh, it's good.
They didn't make the Darren Till Mazadov. I have a boy crush on Darren Till, big time man crush. That's what they call it. I call it a goddamn boy crush. Shit, man crush on Darren Till
You wanna go to
and
spa? You wanna
Mazadov.
go spa with him?
Oh, I
You wanna go to spa with him?
would the spa sauna.
You mean the spa?
Can I sit in the sauna with you? No.
You just said that. I'm supposed to know. You
I
just said
know.
that.
Man crush and Mazadov because I know they're gonna go.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna bang.
They're gonna bang.
They're gonna bang. Oh, Masvidal's gonna make Darren Till bang, and
Yes.
Darren Till's gonna come for somebody's neck this time. I have a feeling.
Yeah, I feel like he was a little timid, a little tentative against Woodley. And that was his
But
first
it seems
loss
like
ever.
everybody's tentative against Woodley for a good reason, right?
Yeah, and I love the Woodley Usman.
You get tagged, it's over.
Bones, Anthony Smith. No, the main event to me is Woodley Usman. I love that fight. Love it on UFC 235. But Till Mazadov,
You're really excited about that?
yeah,
Okay.
you're not. I hear your tone.
It's really not a hard one. This one I'm excited about. Like, let's be real.
The Wonder Boy Pettis.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's gonna be all three of these fights. That's why I said holy
No, I mean,
shit.
like, you wanted me
I
to
said,
pick on
holy
all those.
shit.
Me being a striking guy with I love the kicking background. I love the artistic feel between the two that it's going to play out. And you think I'm not going to pick that one?
No, that's the most entertaining fight. So UFC 235
I think Dave's right with the entertaining one. I think Usman and Woodley's going to
over Wonder Boy. And
Yes, we
Pettis.
might get a stall fight. You don't know what you're gonna get with Wonder Boy and Pettis. I think you're gonna get Usman's gonna come forward. He's gonna try to wrestle. Woodley's gonna have to put hands on him. Gonna wrestle him back.
Let's break it down then.
And the brawl of the fight could be Till Mazadov. That could just be an all like
That could just be-
war.
That could be a little street fight from back in the day.
Yeah.
So
Pettis Wonder Boy's more technical. It could be more of an art.
That's
than
what I'm
a fight.
saying.
Yeah,
It could be
yeah.
a technical chess
Yep.
match. You never know. They could be picking and popping.
So let's break
You
it
know,
down.
pick
Woodley
and pop.
Usman.
Pick and pop like Dirk and Steve Nash.
Woodley Usman, UFC 235,
Okay.
March 2nd. You got John Jones reportedly as the main event with Anthony Smith, Robbie Lawler Askren, Jeremy Stevens Zabit, Holly Holmes, you got Diego Sanchez versus Mickey Gall. It's looking like the best fight card of the year so far. So that being said, Woodley Usman, you're pro Woodley for this fight. You don't have to give your official pick now, but you're certainly leaning towards one way.
I'm not gonna go against Woodley. I don't think Usman's fought enough people to where you can legitimately go ahead.
He's never lost.
I understand
He's
that.
never lost.
Neither did Till though before he fought Woodley, right?
Good point.
No.
Good point.
Let's go down Murderer's Row again. Who has Usman beat? Who has Woodley beat? We all have seen Woodley,
Woodley's beat better competition.
and he's been,
100%.
and he's been doing it longer. He has a chip on his shoulder as a champion, so he still wants that belt bad. He still wants.
The
He's
most
hungry.
underrated champion in the UFC.
He's hungry for that. You know what I mean? And when I say chip, I don't look at it as a bad thing. I look at it, he's just hungry to keep his title. He wants his title. He's not. You're not coming in there to take it easy from him. It's not a guy who's. I've had this title for a while. I'm not working as hard for it. And,
Right,
he's,
he wants to
he wants.
prove he's an
Yeah,
all-time.
he wants to be the greatest welterweight of all time.
I don't think that will ever happen. I think there's a shot. I don't think he can accomplish that unless he, of course, keeps beating these people.
He has to run. He has to run the table a little bit more, and he has to. I think he has to do it emphatically.
I wrote you a note to be sly.
I know,
I show it to you and then you laugh.
I'm looking at
It actually
John.
has nothing to do with John. What-
I looked
you
at my
ruined
left
that.
hand, There's like a note in my face.
You're trying to be sly. We're on Facebook Live, we're on Instagram Live, we're on YouTube, we're recording this for FightBananas.com, and I'm sending you a secret love letter that no one sees, and you laugh.
What, no, what would be secret is you slide it like on the table, and I
Check
slowly
this
look
out,
at it. But
please.
you're just
Yeah. I'm not trying to. It's not a
like
secret. I'm just trying to show you.
That's basically what it was. Anyway, to answer your question, it's up to you. But
Alright, keep
sorry,
going.
back to your thing.
Gee whiz.
No, I think I definitely go with Woodley. I think, like I said, he has a purpose behind him as a champion. He wants to be the best ever.
Does he have a
Houston-
legit shot?
You
has
have to
has
give him a
He has a
shot.
shot. Yeah,
He has a shot. No, he has a shot. He has to beat. Let's say he beats Usman. Let's say the one fight that I really would like him to help solidify his career is Askren. That's not happening, though, guys.
No, they're
It's not-
teammates.
No, they'll never fight.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
happening. It's not happening.
No, the weight class is stacked. I think if he beats Usman, it's could be Wonder Boy or Pettis. That could jump into it.
I think he moves up to 185 before he solidifies his spot as the greatest welterweight ever, because his boy Askren is in the category now.
So maybe what if he defends it? Well, I think actually that's plausible because if Askren beats Robbie Lawler, he's
Yeah.
going to want the title. He's already expressed that Woodley expressed he wants to go to 185. So Askren can get the welterweight title. Woodley focuses on 185.
That's exactly that.
And you think it's official that Askren beats Robbie? By the way, I'm not trying to jump ship the ship here. We'll
No,
finish
keep
Woodley
jumping, keep
Usman
jumping.
if you want, but
Keep jumping.
like it's going to happen.
I hate the break that Robbie was taking. He probably needed it. I just hate the break.
Now, say when you have that many wars, you
Oh,
have
dude,
to.
I-
You have to. You probably shouldn't.
Oh no, I get it. I just think Askren's ready to prove something. And Robbie, if Robbie can keep him off and touch him up, then it's a whole different story. But he's that urban legend too, man. Like Askren is that wrestling is that urban legend. He holds anyone and everyone down, and you do not get to move.
Does he get hit?
I don't know. He doesn't get hit a lot when his
No,
in
no,
his
he
normal
doesn't.
stand.
Well, I'm saying about Robbie.
I think he shoots right away. I think he times it off
just
pretty
grabs a hold
well
of his foot.
and just goes. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just one of those things where
Finish him.
he doesn't finish a lot of people.
I know, but with your first fight being in the UFC, you could say him and Fedor are the two best people to never fight in the UFC. So this is like Askren's first official fight in the UFC, and he's trying to make a case that he's talked shit to everybody. So he's trying to make it like known he's legit for the people who haven't seen him. You don't think he tries to go for the finish?
No, I hope he does. I'm not. I mean, he may, but I have no idea. I mean, if he goes with his fights, it's gonna be 3 rounds of him taking Robbie down and punching him in the face. And
Yeah, it could just be ground and pound, and it could just be a finish that he's not even kind of even going for, but that just kind of happens.
Just happens.
Yeah, it happens. Or, let's just call a spade a spade. Robbie got hit in the chin, fell to T. Woodley. Let's see where he's at. No one thought that
Rafael
Habib was going to hit Connor and knock him down.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone says, "Oh, Ben's going to wrestle him and Robbie's going to throw."
Yeah.
90%. Ben could throw an overhand right.
What if Robbie wins?
Oh, if he wins,
That's awesome. I mean,
he gets a title shot right away. He never got the rematch.
if he beats Askren, he gets a title shot right
Yeah,
away.
if he gets the title fight and then somehow Woodley goes to 185.
Or does he fight the winner Till Masvidal?
No, because there's no
What
who's
if Till
next
wins, though?
for Woodley.
What if Till wins and Robbie wins?
No, it's different because Robbie was the champion. Robbie never got his rematch for the title. Till fought for the title. I think he needs 2 more fights.
That's what I mean. What if Robbie would be?
No, Robbie gets one right away.
You think so?
Yeah, my
Really?
point, especially him beating Askren, who is the
no.
biggest.
I don't know if he does though, because
What?
Covington's also in line. I think Covington gets the next crack at the title, so maybe
Covington, Robbie Lawler is the new welterweight title because Woodley wins and goes to 185.
Against Usman? I think he wins against Usman.
Ooh, what if it's
Beats
Covington Askren?
What,
Talk about 2 wrestlers.
what do you think? What do you think? Woodley's strategy against Usman?
Punch him in the face.
But I mean, with that's
No,
he game plans extremely well.
I-
he does. Like you figured that out about Woodley,
He's
right?
a strategic fighter.
Like him and
He
Dean
knows
Donis
Usman's gonna
game
try to
plan
wrestle him,
extremely
right?
Well.
Usman's going to try to wrestle him,
Yeah.
right?
Is he gonna wrestle? Is he gonna dominate him? Because he's a hell of a wrestler.
No, yeah, he can wrestle him too, and I think he's going to have
He's got
a
a black belt now. Could you
a knee ready for Usman.
I think so. I could see that.
Or does he do what he did to Damian Maya, nullify the wrestling and pick him apart on the feet?
No,
It's a different type of wrestling that you're gonna get from Usman than Damian Maya.
Oh, yeah,
It's
Usman's a
it's
way
gonna-
better wrestler
it's
than
gonna-
me.
It's gonna
But like, does he
it's
know
gonna play. I think he stuffs a few, and they have to exchange. Honestly, if you want to know the truth, I think they stuff a few because I think Usman won't stand as long as they're hoping, unless Woodley can stuff a few takedowns. And if he can stand a few takedowns, man, when you exchange with Woodley, you gotta understand that one can put you to bed, like bed.
Because isn't this the same
It can make
situation Woodley would be in if he fought Covington? Covington's going to pressure you, wrestle. Pressure, wrestle.
Yeah, Covington's got, I think, better boxing to be able to move off the center line with his head a little bit the way he does, and he's a little bit more traditional with his wrestling style. Like he has a certain funky style to it. Like he can drop to a bottom squat and really get low to squeeze two legs to pick. Like it's different wrestling than the style of Usman. And I think it would honestly give Woodley a little bit more problems than Usman's power wrestling.
Yeah.
Because I feel Usman's more power, and Covington can also, it's when he starts to press you so much, he uses a lot of technique and a lot of
Wears it down.
like slick type of, technical wrestling. I mean, that's my. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched a lot of Covington fights. I watched the main
You
ones.
saw the RDA.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw what he did there.
Watch that together.
And you know what I mean? So I watched a few of those. I went back and saw a little bit, but to me, that's the wrestling I get from him. Usman takes you down, and it takes you down in a power way. He holds you there. He tries to hit you. He dominates you. Covington is trying to wear you out any which way possible.
Yep.
If he has to hold you there for a minute and knee you and dough you and just pressure you, he's going to do that. If he's got to dirty box you for a minute, he's going to do that. He's going to just be all over you and smother you, which can take away Woodley's power.
But can he do that to Woodley?
I don't know. We'll have to watch and see. If
Usman's a little bit to basketball. LeBron James, power, kind of domination, big, heavy. Colby Covington's a little Russell Westbrook. Just go, 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 go. He just never stops. He's always in your face, always in your face. He's always running. He's always getting the rebound, always trying to run. You like that analogy?
It's constant pressure, constant forward.
Yeah,
constant,
just never stops. Just
mistake made,
Like
whatever.
Chael Sonnen of the welterweight division in a way.
With a better gas tank. Kid's got a gas tank.
yeah.
Got a motor. He's got a motor.
I mean,
And that's,
Chael did have a motor back
no.
then.
He did have a motor, but like when
Covington's ridiculous.
when Covington's motor has never been worn
We don't
out.
talk enough Chael P. Sonnen on this show. I'll tell you that.
Chael had a hell of a motor.
Chael P.
But-
Sonnen.
Chael even Chael got tired in the other rounds and left himself open for triangles because that's how he always got caught.
And the underrated fight on that is Diego Sanchez Mickey Gall. That's like a sneaky type of fight of the night type of. I mean, I don't know how many more hits
The
Sanchez
Holly
can
Holm
take.
is the
Yeah.
sneaky fight.
And it's a beat. That's like changing the new
Holly
guard,
Holm
old
versus
guard.
Holly Holm versus
Holly Holm versus Aspen Ladd.
Yeah.
Could be saying that wrong, but
No, that's right. And
that's the yes Aspen okay
no, Chael P.
yeah.
Sonnen says she could be like
She's
the
a
next.
monster.
Yeah,
She's
she's
a
Meg
monster.
Anderson type.
She's
So see, now they have two
Aspen-
fights like that because then it's Zabit versus Jeremy Stevens. Like Jeremy Stevens is like the veteran; he's fought the best of the best. Zabit's this young up and comer on the way.
I guess it'd be in that one.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
And like if Zabit wins, he's got to be close to title contention.
Does he fight Yair Rodriguez in? Because Yair just got the knockout of the year
No,
with
they haven't. He's scared of that fight. He's going to Bellator when they make that fight.
yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm gonna join this Bellator welterweight
They
tournament.
got to match up at some point. I mean, I think they match up before they fight for the title.
Yes,
I think they match up before.
they could be.
Before one of them fights for the title, they match up.
Yes, agree.
What makes Aspen
And that's
Ladd-
145, right?
Yes.
No one's beating Max. No one's beating Max.
That's my guy, Max.
145. No one's beating Max.
It's just does he stay in that division or does he move up? It seems to be the question.
Oh man, dude. Max, just fight. That's all I care. Just fight Max. I love watching Max fight. I love it. Love everything about
I
it.
don't think he ever loses at 145, and then just because of age, probably. I hope he fights this whole year 2 more times, at least 2 more times, 145, and then move up.
Who's he get? Let's see. Who are we gonna put next?
You guys might not like it, Frankie.
That's a legit title defense.
I'm not upset by that.
Neither am I.
That fight was made like twice. It just never happened. I know people are like, really? Frankie gets the title shot? Yeah.
He gets uppercutted again though.
So, yeah,
I'm not.
He
that-
tags. He tags.
I mean,
Frankie. he's too big for Frankie.
No, you guys. He's never losing at 145. I totally agree. Never loses.
Okay, so Frankie's only been knocked out once. Does he get Max knocks him out, or does Max just
TKO.
TKO?
Yeah, just multiple-
referee
yeah.
stoppage?
Like second round, like earlier than normal.
Really?
Yeah, because
I was gonna say first.
his range is just like different.
Dude, what he did to Ortega was
Like
just-
you think you're hitting him, but
One of the
you don't hit him, but he hits
Top
you.
3 most impressive fights 2018.
You had Holloway too. I wish you were there. I'm
Oh, I know, man.
like, yeah! Everyone's like Ortega. I'm like,
John
really?
was too busy using his nightlight super hat with at home. He couldn't make it out to the fights. His glow in the dark John Radford skimmy hat.
Oh wow. I
He wears it in the daytime too.
wore it
Loading a truck.
Unload the truck today. We're unloading the truck.
If it's a glow in the dark hat you're wearing during the day,
It's got the
Egotistical.
it's like
It has
I
to
know
say rad on
it's
it.
like you wearing pumps and not pumping them. It makes no sense.
It says rad. I think you're just supposed to know it's Radford. It's even more egotistical. He doesn't even his full name. It says, "Oh, that's Radford."
Holy
You
shit,
gotta
the
know.
ego on this man.
That's like
Max.
if we had a beanie that said Van.
I know
Like
the
you're supposed to know
ego
it's
on
Van
this
Auken.
man. Shit.
It's bigger than I ever thought.
Holy.
I think it's the beard. It's just gotten to his head. He's
I
no
know.
longer the professor. He's the professor with the beard.
the professor with the beard.
Gandalf the
Oh,
white, not
and-
Gandalf the gray.
Oh,
You're just
Bro, it's
like,
not even close to any of those
I
colors.
know, but you're just like 2.0. I'm Gandalf the white. Like
Yeah,
you're
you're
a whole
the
different
white.
person because you have a
Definitely.
beard.
The white was an asshole. The gray was a good guy. He helped everyone. He showed the rings where to go.
Gandalf the white was.
It's
was
Yeah,
egotistical.
Gandalf the white was an asshole. He was. He was a little,
Egotistical.
he was always on the horse.
Oh
He
yeah,
was
he's
always
like,
just
I don't
like-
walk anymore. I
Yeah.
don't walk anymore.
And he has to intimidate Legolas.
Well, he-
like
well,
he
let's
doesn't
be
know
real.
him.
I don't-
You
come
can't
on.
just dim the lights and say,
Goddamn
"Hey, what's up,
Gandalf
man?
the
I'm
white.
back."
Gandalf the Grey rode a freaking giant eagle or some bird. Like, let's be real. The
He's
bird
a G.
said.
Yeah.
So he's a G.
Yep.
Because the
Jumped
one
off
guy
a
who
cliff.
rides a white horse.
He
Yep.
jumped off the cliff,
Yes.
Gandalf the Grey, and
Right.
jumped on a
know the-
gigantic eagle without looking because he summoned him with his hands.
G mode.
I got another question for you since you guys want to talk Lord of the Rings real quick.
Mm.
Do they consider him two different characters or is he one still same character?
Do we consider you a different character, John?
No. Actually, I thought it was one, but one was a nice, good human being, and the second one was an asshole. So no, two different guys, two different characters.
You grow a beard, and all of a sudden you have your own beanie. I never even
Jesus.
saw that beanie before.
Picking
the beard.
Henry Cejudo to win in 30 seconds.
And
Look at
now
this guy
you
over
get the
here.
beard, You get the beanie, it's glow in the dark.
picked
He wears his
Henry
hat sideways.
I picked Henry Cejudo to win for sure, but not in 32 seconds.
That's what he told me. He said, I can't even wear my hat straight. It has to be a little to the side.
Of course,
Does.
I just want
it's the professor.
to hit that.
Cottonback's got a little inside angle. Okay, real quick, Darren Till Mazadov. Any like, oh, I got him, or oh,
Till.
but this one.
Masvidal can hold the power of Till. I take Masvidal, but I don't think
Wow.
I'm not sure if he
I
can.
take Till
I
for the
say,
beanie.
man, no, Masvidal's
He
got.
takes two to throw one sometimes, and he like takes it.
But Till
Yeah,
has
no.
some power.
That,
Oh,
that's what I mean. Like
Gosh,
he's
I
got
love
he's got big power. But Masvidal has been hit by like big guys, and it's never it hasn't really phased him type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he has great boxing, like good head movement off the center line. He stands tall, so Till could utilize some kicks, to the legs and stuff like that. That's been susceptible against Masvidal sometimes, but for the most part, Masvidal's stand-up is some of the most solid stand-up you're gonna find in MMA, man. Like you got to worry about it when you fight this
It
guy.
just got nullified with Wonder Boy. Like that was just a weird.
It was
fight.
just it's style versus
Yeah.
it's just in that type of style, moving those angles, that in and out. You can't. They all say it. You can't get anyone but Wonder Boy to move like Wonder Boy.
January 21st, 2019. This fight's 2-3 months away. Calling it right now. Till KO in spectacular fashion.
overhand right.
Like like spinning back fist, jumping knee, spinning heel kick, spectacular fashion.
Oh, and he drops the mic on that one, guys. He dropped the. Did anybody say that? He dropped the mic on the podcast.
I don't think you're crazy. I think I see it like an overhand right. Just like ooh, and then like it's a knockout.
Why over him, right?
I don't know. I just think that his distance and like just the way
You
the
think-
angles his punches come at.
You think it'll be a lead overhand right? Because he's a southpaw.
I think it could be just a flurry and it just.
That's the one that catches him.
Yeah. I mean, God, it could be a left John. Jeez, just overhand hook.
Well, then say that. You said overhand right.
Okay, John. See, I want the beardless John back.
I still would have corrected you.
No, but
He's
I think
southpaw.
either way, I think it's an overhand punch that knocks out Masvidal. But I do see your points as well, where Masvidal obviously has a legit chance to win.
I think it's a straight left that connects and does the first damage to it. I think it's a straight left, or it's one of those little quick hooks that brings it into a kick, or a weird left hook. But I think it's I want to say weird left hook, like a short left hook, like nothing loopy.
Before we get into a couple more fights, John, what was the first UFC pay-per-view you ever saw? You ever watched? You went to a house, you bought it yourself. Do you remember the number or the main event?
I do remember the main event. I don't
Okay.
remember the number.
What was the main event?
The main event was Chuck Liddell versus Tito 1.
Oh,
Okay, Chuck
White
Tito
shorts
won.
Tito, or
It was the
black
first
shorts
one I
Tito?
started. Now before that, I started watching, some of them like, randomly, like. But that was the first one I remember going. I'm going to go watch this fight. This is the one that I'm like. This is gonna make me either be a UFC fan or MMA fan, or I'm not gonna like. I'm gonna go all in on this fight and go watch it. So I went to a buddy's house and we all watched it. It was amazing. It was fantastic. Chuck won.
Iceman?
Chuck, yeah, Iceman won. It was great. And then I literally continued from that point on wholeheartedly watching as many as possible.
Yeah.
I'm Stephen King in it right now. Follow me, guys. ESPN past weekend. Stephen A. Smith. It's on ESPN Plus. It's on ESPN. They had the Virginia Duke game. It went long. They had to slow down the prelims. As a fight fan that's been watching it since Chuck and Tito won, do you like it on ESPN? Do you like this new generation mainstream? They're going for the 52-year-old man. They're going for the 19-year-old female. They want everything in between. Mickey Mouse owns this company. Do you like UFC on ESPN?
No. I liked it. I liked it where it was at, man. I really did. I thought they did a good job on Fox.
Made it more special.
I don't know that I don't care about it being more special when we say it that way. I think the sport is special in its own right, and if people don't understand that or see that, it's because they're not trying to truly take the time to see it, and that's fine. I don't understand soccer wholeheartedly. I watch it when the U.S. plays in the World Cup and when the women play and everything like that. Other than that, I don't know soccer wholeheartedly. But so I understand that I when I say things about soccer, it's a little bit biased on the bad side because I don't know anything about it and I don't really care.
Of course.
So that part I don't really care about. I just think that the company has they you just said it. They're not watered down, but how many sports do they cover? Everything.
26.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
NASCAR,
Everything.
tennis,
Everything. Just say everything.
racquetball.
It's okay to say everything. They have the Ocho. You know what I'm
Bowling.
saying? They
Bowling.
cover dodgeball.
Water polo.
They cover the
Everything.
spelling bee, bro.
That
And
is
that's
true.
okay. I'm all like, give the kids a spotlight. I'm fine with that. But my whole thing is they
Spell
cover everything.
Christoph Porzingis.
Fox didn't cover everything. Fox took the UFC and they did make it special. They gave it, they made it their baby like football. It became something. And now,
I'm a
if
Fox
ESPN
guy.
tries to do that, I don't want to see Stephen A. Smith talking about MMA unless it's on his own show. He can do whatever he wants on his own show. I don't need to see
He
him.
doesn't know it like.
I don't,
Kenny
but
Gates.
he can talk about whatever he wants on his own show. That's his own show. He has earned the right to do anything he wants there. My whole thing is, do not put him on cage side with some people and talk about MMA.
John Anik and Daniel Cormier. I saw a picture, looked at him like.
And you need to take that with a grain of salt. How real is that picture? I mean, I know they can
Of
stop.
course, of
You know what I'm
course.
saying, but like that could have been
A facial expression, anything.
anything at any point. But my whole thing is, don't do that. Don't give me the big guy that everybody likes but he knows nothing about MMA and start talking about it like he does. Don't do that.
Question. So, like, back to your ESPN era, like the Super Bowl, everyone tunes in for, even if like you really don't watch football, everyone just barbecues and invites family over. Like you just said, when the U.S. plays in the U.S., in soccer, the finals, people who don't watch basketball watch that. Will the UFC? I know you've hinted at the season and stuff. Maybe it's a Grand Prix. Will the UFC, you think, ever create something where it's just way more important than any title? It's way more important than any matchup, where it does grab that viewer who doesn't watch the sport but does watch it just for that?
Yes, I'm telling you. They're going to do like a World Cup. Countries, how about the 4 best from the UK, 4 best from Brazil, America? Or they're going to do some
The
kind of
biggest-
season.
the
They're going to
biggest-
create something.
The biggest thing that's going
yes.
to happen is the UFC will get behind the bid to put it in the Olympics. And if that happens, it'll be because it's on ESPN. ESPN being on it, behind it, will help it tremendously. And if it gets in the Olympics, then the world and more people will definitely tune in to watch it. You'll get a lot of people. You'll get behind American fighters because America chooses anybody they feel like liking, right? But countries in other places choose their own fighter and run with it, right?
And will they allow, like how U.S. basketball does, where you're professional like LeBron, so like somebody
Yeah,
like
it's not gonna be up and coming.
John
It's
Jones
gonna-
can go in the Olympics?
Exactly.
He won't.
He may not.
They don't get paid.
Trust me.
The top 100 fighters in the world will not go to the Olympics.
So Hudo holds that gold medal almost with more pride than he does that UFC medal.
There's not, but I know where he's saying if you're
Henry
pulling
Cejudo at 19 years old, not
He
at
wasn't-
27. Now he's making
he
millions.
just yelled, "I gotta get paid."
Yeah,
He would go back
Uncle
to doing
Dana!
it because he's done it before. He would go back to go fight in flyweight in MMA in the Olympics to say, hey, I really am the greatest
T.
champion
Woodley's
ever.
not fighting in the Olympics.
T. Woodley may not. Daniel Cormier would. I guarantee it because he'd won a medal
A lot
in
of
the
wrestlers
Olympics.
may be intrigued by it.
Well, just a lot of fighters that haven't never tasted the gold medal or no tasted the championship medal. John Jones may not do it. But what I'm saying is they do get paid a little bit, by the way. They get stipends for giving
very
achieving
little.
medals. I know it is very little, but I'm saying they do get
For
something.
them, because
But
MMA,
they-
you only fight 2-3 times a year. So to
But-
stop your UFC title run and then to get paid $8,000 to fight in the Olympics, no big guy's gonna do that.
Guess what happens here though? Nike comes knocking at your door more. Now all these other people with big paychecks come knocking at your door, and they go, "Hey,
If you compete in the Olympics,
you compete
we'll
in the
sponsor
Olympics. You compete in the Olympics. I got 20 million to give you if you compete in the Olympics and run with Nike."
Do you think one, you're the professor? Great effing point. Great point. Number two, UFC's tied with Reebok.
The Reebok comes knocking at your door.
No, that's what I mean. So
no, but
if you said Reebok, I love it. I get what you're saying. It's a
Anybody.
great point. Gatorade.
anybody,
Gatorade says T. Woodley, 25 million. Well, win the gold medal.
even if
He's just a hot name right now. Right?
what they would
Because-
honestly do, what they would do, you would get Gatorade. Your point is absolutely on point. My thing is Gatorade would come in right next to Reebok, right next to whoever else, and go, "Hey,
Yeah.
Wheaties or whatever cereal, whatever the thing."
Fucker.
They'd all come and go, "You offer 5, I offer 5, he
Yes.
offers 5. He's gonna get 30 mil. He's going to the Olympics. He's going to take that because he's still only getting
It's a
paid.
great
So
3
does
point.
Conor
He's still-
McGregor go for Ireland, or does he represent America?
Oh,
If he gets 30 mil,
that's a silly. Why would you ask
of
that
course,
question?
of course.
He
I
would-
mean,
he's going to-
Ireland. But what I'm
No,
saying
he's
is,
going to be. He's what?
yeah, that's
He doesn't walk around in America with an American flag.
Of
He walks around
course.
with an Irish flag.
but what I'm saying is, so a lot of these UFC
No,
fighters
stop, no.
are going to be representing
Their
each
country.
individual country.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
that's
the
what I'm
same
saying.
fighters that we see compete inside America or around the world, of course.
Yeah,
But
will be
each
competing in the
country
Olympics.
then gets to decide who their fighter is.
yeah, of course.
We
Anderson
would-
Silva's Brazil.
Yeah, but why would it be Anderson Silva or would it
No,
be
because he's over
Carlos?
the prem.
Carlos, the one dude, the Carlos Jr. or whatever, the big.
Dude,
Diego
we may
Sanchez.
have created something here that could change. This could be the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying. This, if it gets in the Olympics,
I said World Cup. That was the first thing I said.
and that's what I'm saying. If they create a World Cup where each country does that, and
Because the
and
World
UFC
Cup is
backs
bigger
it,
than the Olympics. You know that, right?
and the
guys?
UFC backs it, and this would
It
be
is.
the World Cup is bigger than
It
the
is.
Olympics as
Yeah,
far as
a
a
World
because
Cup for MMA.
it would be huge. It would
Call
be
it the
massive.
locked-in cup.
Nice.
You like that?
Right. So it would generate just an unforeseen thing. Like it would be amazing. Like you would have this giant tournament. It would be it'd be the Olympics. It'd be essentially like the World Cup, the World Fighting Championships. I mean, we wouldn't call it the World Mixed Martial Arts Championships, whatever you want to call it. But if it ended up in the Olympics and it was backed by the UFC would love it. They should love it because as soon as that happens, every gold medalist from the Olympics, you go and grab right then and there because you're going to have dudes that you've never seen before. You're not going to have a whole plethora of just the guys you've seen before. You're going to have new dudes, the people from ONE FC, the people from all these places that you never really get to see up close and personal are going to be fighting each other for a gold medal for their country. We, as a country,
I think
no. What I'm saying is, it means more to everybody else in the world than it would mean to us because we look at it as money. We want money when we fight over here in America. That's what a lot of people fight for.
they fight for
right?
honor over there.
They fight for but they're going to fight for their country.
Integrity, honor, country, patriottism, better values.
I'm not saying that
than
we
money,
don't. I'm not saying that.
dollar.
I'm not saying we don't have that here. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying there's fighters that wouldn't do that
course.
here. I'm just saying the mass majority of the world cares more. Just like the World Cup is, like you said, soccer. It's so big. It's not that big here.
Yeah.
But it's so big everywhere else.
Yeah.
So this, I think, could be the World Cup of MMA.
If it ever, they
We
could
just
create
created the
some.
World Cup. Not only do we create a scoreboard, we just created the World Cup for MMA.
It's like if Dana White,
If they do this, they can have a scoreboard.
Really? This is the only way
Or
to
just
get a
say-
scoreboard.
Dana White should just have
Stand off
you
the
and
way.
I in his back pocket. Call us whenever he wants. We're just giving you the two greatest ideas in MMA history. It's like,
No, I'm like this could
This
be
is
special.
oh, it is special.
If they make the World Cup, bro, like
This
this,
is
and
what
they,
happens when we all get together. This stuff just
It-
happens, but we just recorded it this
but
time.
I'm saying, like, that question was great because if they did make that, I think this is what would change the game for everything.
yeah,
I think this
That's-
this would surpass every sport. It would, let me put it this way, it has the potential to surpass every sport in the world
Yes.
if this happens.
And like you're literally going to war.
It would be
It's
bigger
like-
than the World Cup.
Like you're literally going to war. You're not competing with the team. God, you got a
Yeah.
field goal.
That's
You know,
what I'm saying.
I'm
Like,
coming
this
to
is-
beat you.
This is
we're
like
fighting.
every country is going to get behind these fighters. Every country is going to like build these giant advertisements for these fighters. Everyone's going to watch this.
Could this like
In the-
kind of replace war
Can I
in
just
a way, like in a symbolic way?
Are we?
Like
No,
in a
we're not
sense-
talking war.
Let's keep this as a sport.
Yeah,
I know. I'm
Let's
just
let-
saying.
no,
I'm
let's-
just. My thought is
No,
here.
no,
because you
no.
guys are gonna spin
Turn.
where it's bad here.
I'm not-
What I'm
just gonna
saying is
just
when
direct
when Rocky fought Drago during the Cold War, that fight ended a lot of like what he was trying to say is it's symbolic. Like yeah, look, two people from two different countries just got and fought here. Let's all love each other.
Yes.
Like what I'm saying is, in a way, it can really unite everybody.
You're
instead
saying
of
like
war.
back in the day with like Troy, where all those people like there were the biggest fighter would fight the biggest fighter, and then when whoever won, that's who won the war.
Yeah, like
No, we push buttons nowadays in war, and we drop bombs. It's not
I'm
happening.
just saying,
And let's
it'd be
not-
a
let's not
cool
bring-
way
No,
to
what-
bring
that's
people
not cool.
together in a
That's-
good way. In
No,
a
no,
form
nothing's
of
nothing's
mixed
cool.
martial
Nothing's
arts.
cool about war. Let's not
Yeah.
add something. Let's try to make war
I said
cool.
this is cool.
I know,
To unify
but let's-
everyone.
let's not
No
make
more
that
war.
war.
No more war.
No more war.
The art of mixed martial arts. It's a beautiful thing.
It's just going to be the Olympics.
Yeah, it's great. To get out our attentions there, so we
Yeah.
don't have to fight each other.
Okay.
And just the last thing on it, a soccer field. When WrestleMania, I'm a wrestling fan. Brock Lesnar, Stone Cold, right? When WrestleMania is in Miami, they get so many people in it because the ring is so small, and where the football field is or a soccer field is, they have seat. So imagine this cup is played in Brazil, played in the UK, played in America in these stadiums, and cages 28 feet round, seat. You can get 150,000 people at some of these events. You can get, when they played the football game, it was West Virginia versus Tennessee. Something like it's over 100,000 people go to these. It's a football field, and 100 yards takes up a lot of space, a lot of people. This can be the most watched event at live, the most ticket sales ever for an event in sports history.
You would have to, I think, to make it fully functional, you would have to take 3 months to do it.
Oh, 6 months, John.
You think so?
Yeah,
Think
yeah,
You
yeah.
would have to
You do it right. You do
You
it
would
right.
do it. You would do. And this is where you change it up. You do
6
it.
months,
You do it
yeah.
once every 4. You do it once every 5 years. Not 4, 5. Because
I
you would
like
have to
that.
take 6 months.
Yeah.
You do it once every 5 years.
You ready for this?
But my only
It's a year.
caveat would be
Because I think it's an 8-man tournament almost for each weight
For
class,
And you do it
and
for a
you
year.
3 fights a year.
Okay.
but my caveat
What's every 5? I love it.
thing would be
Okay.
this.
Okay, that makes sense. So every 5 years. So
Mhm.
every 5 years.
Mhm.
That way you have 4 years off to build whatever you're doing, and then you have a whole year that your dude's going to compete for.
Wait, so what are you looking at?
Oh no, no, I'm posting a picture of us 3.
All right.
You heard it
so-
here first.
Yeah, once every 5 years, and it takes a year to do it. And Brazil in
World-
2025,
World
UK
Combative
2030, Japan 2035,
Yeah.
America 2040.
World Combative Games.
Why I have a problem with the
WCG.
every 5 years though, because as
Make it
much as I
special.
like it, a lot of players not fighters, a lot of fighters would fall out of their prime. So like we would miss, for example, Daniel Cormier say he wanted to do it. He's not going to do it when he's 45. Like, couldn't that be an issue?
Why?
Well, I mean,
why
for
does-
basketball, you have so many
Look,
different.
Okay, so you're, but what I'm saying is everybody, it's done, it's over. I'm not asking Daniel Cormier to compete if this happens 5 years from now. I'm not even looking at Daniel Cormier
Of
to
course.
compete.
GSP,
So I'm not upset.
Silva,
I'm not looking
Chuck,
at any of them.
everyone
I'm
at
looking
least
at
had a
the
5-year
newest thing.
career.
I'm looking at Israel Adesanya.
Yeah,
I'm looking
Till.
I'm looking at all these young guys coming through that are just coming up awesome fighters that are going to be incredible. I'm looking at like a Mike Davis.
So why is it
I'm looking
not-
at younger fighters
why
that like
5,
that.
not 4.
Taylor, the next big thing, right?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at, Kayla Harrison. She's fighting for them, Fight for America. She's already a Judokan who fought for us before. She'll fight for us there. I'm looking for younger fighters that are coming up ready to just wreck shop. Amanda Nunes would be fighting for, Brazil. The younger ones. Rose Namajunas for us. You know what I'm saying? Or
And how many people would you get to compete from each thing?
you would have two.
Forget the rest of the fight
Two
cards
per-
in the UFC. Let's break this down so this is not ever going to get copied again. I don't want anybody to be able to replicate this. So how many people would represent each country?
Two per weight category.
One's
You
an
gotta have
alternate.
yes. That's what I was about
Yeah,
to get.
one's
two,
an alternate.
Two per weight category. You have an A,
Correct.
you have a B.
Yes.
And for women's.
When B gets hurt, When A gets hurt and A won the match, B goes in to
Per
take over
category.
per weight category.
So
Per
at the
weight.
end of the day,
You have-
it's how many countries have won certain divisions.
You have 105 for women. You have 115 for women. You have 125 for women. You have 135, 145, and 155.
So
You
one
have 6.
from each country, they get represented one
2.
with the
You
backup.
get 12. You get 12 girls.
Yeah, because you get a backup.
Yep.
And now at the end of the day, it's how many weight divisions did your country win is who wins the whole World Cup.
Yes. The majority.
So it
you would
ends
get
up we
points.
won
You would get
4.
points.
Yeah.
You would do a point system for that for who wins the World Cup, and you wouldn't call it a World Cup anymore.
Like the U.S.
You-
like for Olympics, that's how they do it. How many different categories did you win
To
throughout
win
the
it, yeah, yeah.
Olympics?
But this is just what I'm
So
saying.
if
Is
you win your weight class, you do get a medal.
you
Yes,
get the
yeah.
world. You're the world champion in your
And
weight
then
category.
you hold up the cup. Your country holds up the cup after you win.
Yeah.
So you get the
Correct.
individual gold
Correct.
medals until
Correct.
the World Cup.
It's like
with
the
most points.
gymnastics, the team gymnastics.
You get a point for every round you make it to, and the country that makes it to the most doesn't win the most medals, but gains the most points. Like if I have 4 dudes in the semifinals across the board, you have 1. My dudes never won a medal, and you're the only
You
one
have
on
more
your.
points.
But my team was more successful as a whole. I think that should be the one who wins the World Cup.
The most points.
You would, yeah. So like
Not
round
medals, points.
Yeah, correct. You can win
Medals-
0 medals.
and still win
Yeah,
like
because if you get second place for all 14 categories, you win the cup.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
100%.
Okay, so then
And there's no gold or like I don't think there should be a gold or silver.
so how many fights would be per round?
It's an 8-man tournament.
8-man tournament for how many different?
Every weight class.
But for all the different countries they're representing, you have to keep an account too.
No, I know, but you have to get
You
in.
have
So maybe,
qualifiers.
yeah, qualify. Maybe America didn't
That's why-
qualify for welterweight. We
that-
had no one step up, no one good, and they didn't win the system to get in.
So we have
Brazil,
we have to we can't do an 8-man. No,
That's
we
what
have
I'm saying,
no
'cause
no
you
no,
have so
no,
many
you do
different
8-man,
Mhm.
but you have to do a 1-night qualifier
correct.
in a regional qualifier around the world.
Yeah, correct.
This
Because
is
there's
incredible.
only like 20, 22 countries that would do it.
This is incredible.
And it breaks down to 8 per each.
Okay, that
So like
could work.
Japan has no welterweights, but they have a heavyweight. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That can work. That can work.
This
Yeah.
is incredible.
Now this
This could be like our best
like
idea.
we don't just break down. So the Donald Cerrone, he beat a young kid, and that was a great fight there. Like we don't just do that. We literally just created the greatest idea in MMA history.
and we just made it where it's bigger than any other respective sport.
God,
We made it bigger than the
Joe
NFL.
Rogan, come get some, Rogan.
We made it
Come
bigger,
get some.
made it bigger than the NBA, bigger than the MLB, bigger than soccer. Like,
It's-
this could be the biggest event. Not only are we creating an event, it would be the biggest event that makes the most money, it's the most patriotism. Everybody would be intrigued in it. People who don't even care about fighting would watch it.
You would finally you would be bringing camaraderie, in a combative sport to America. We would be rooting for the same people finally. You know what I mean? As a country as a whole, I feel like because like
But
I
what's your
know-
favorite fighters from
no, but I'm saying that at that point you'd be rooting for your country because
Yeah,
I like
you
a
have
whole.
to.
You just as a whole you would do that because I don't know. I know plenty of people that don't like soccer. Or when I say don't like soccer, don't pay attention to soccer. But as soon as America starts, playing in the World Cup,
yeah,
they're
we're
all
tuning in.
not. We're turning into it. Even if your favorite player is Messier and he's playing for Argentina,
So if Eddie Alvarez is fighting Connor in the finals for the 155,
I'm upset.
we're all going for Eddie?
I'm going for Eddie, but I'm
I'm
really.
Team Ireland today.
you son of a God bless America. Come on, Max. Did you vote?
Conor McGregor, America.
God bless America.
And wait, so the walkout theme song is the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge of Allegiance?
Oh, that would be goosebumps.
Oh my.
Not the Pledge of Allegiance.
Goosebumps.
That'd be,
Oh,
it'd
the
be
national
anthem.
national anthem.
For the heavyweights, you have
Your
Brock
walkout-
Lesnar,
your
this
walkout
great
song-
American.
yes.
come out.
Not walk out
Your
for us.
walkout
Are you
song-
kidding me?
Yeah,
Your
he's a
walkout
great
song
American.
is your national anthem.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
every time.
Absolutely.
Oh
Hell.
my god.
Brock
Yes,
Lesnar, heavyweight. God bless America.
This is the best idea we've ever
But what I'm saying is, dude,
How do we create
I'm
it?
just upset if Eddie is fighting Conor McGregor in the 155 mode.
5 years from now, it's not happening. But how do we create this? What's the next step? We'll talk off air, of course. But
We'll go to fightbananas.com and we'll just start
We're
making
gonna write an
it.
article right
Yeah.
now about it. Like, yeah, we'll do that. Well, we're
can
gonna
it be written by all three of us at the
absolutely.
same time?
Well,
We just kind of written it, kind of.
you're writing that down. Yeah, Are you
Liv.
are you typing that, Liv?
Is there notes?
I'm typing.
All right.
Wow,
so
we
she
taking
got,
notes?
Producer Liv, typing it up.
heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, fightbananas.com.
The MMA World Cup.
But then there has to.
Yeah, we'll come up. Yeah, the
Come on, there has
the
to be
locked in
better
fighting world championships.
Wow, if we really feel locked in on the biggest sporting event ever.
Mm.
Talk about egotistical. You think you're egotistical?
That was god dang,
I wouldn't even
John.
I wouldn't get a beanie. I would get a house.
I would
that says
get
my name in the
a
front of it.
glow in the dark beanie with the World Cup. John Radford created it.
He has to wear
.com.
his hat sideways, grows a beard.
Whiz.
Don't get upset because I can grow a beard.
Hey, you're right. Hey, I can't grow a beard.
Yeah.
All power to you. I don't want to be Gandalf the White though. I don't want to.
Yeah, he's an
that says
asshole.
My name.
He's an asshole.
Not even
Gandalf
my
is
full
an
name.
asshole.
It's just Rad. Let me just say, get a beanie that says Van. He's like, come on, man. I'm supposed to know it's Van Auken.
Or Vans, and you
That's
just
just
forgot the
that's
S.
just an egotistical type thing on your beanie. You wear it across your forehead, literally.
So do you want
I'm egotistical, Gandalf?
Wait, guys, we have to stop the podcast.
John
We have
Radford the
to.
White.
I know we have to tie his shoes real quick and make sure we have to give him a full body massage for an hour and a half so we can finish the podcast. This
There
egotistical
are 4
son of
types
a
of
gun.
Victoria, and he says one of them. He says,
I'm gonna real quick. The reason I have that beanie is one of my coworkers at my school, which my name is Coach Rad at my school because my father was Mr. Radford working there. So the kids didn't get things mixed up.
You're trying to play with my heart.
I know, God
I'm
damn
just
it.
letting
John won.
you know.
Max, we're assholes.
Yeah, this
John
is-
won. I'm so sorry. The
Yeah.
father thing just broke my heart. I can't
He's
deal with
Mr.
it.
Radford. I'm Coach
God
Rad.
dang it.
He's John the Gray again.
All right, guys. Have a good night. Thank you so much for listening. Download and subscribe. Jeez,
I
that
think
just
I
broke
may
my
have
heart.
on that one.
I
I'm
know.
kind of hurt.
The heartstrings got
Sorry,
me there.
John.
Last thing, Wonder Boy
I
or
always hurt
Showtime
you,
Pennis?
man. I hurt you mentally and physically now.
I know.
You're terrible.
What did you hurt me physically? What did you hurt me physically? What is happening
Do
here?
we have to? Do we have to?
What did you hurt me physically? All I did was I saw you try to guard somebody like you're playing basketball in a boxing ring recently. Chris Mixon was boxing you and you tried to guard him. You didn't even box him. I didn't understand what was happening.
You throw a jab, Max. Throw a jab. Stop playing defense.
Don't make him go left.
You're
Don't
posting
make
up.
him go left.
You're posting him up, Max. Throw a jab. Oh gosh. All right, guys.
I'm like,
We're on
going back to it.
iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Download and subscribe. We talked about the best fights in the world. We talked about the greatest fight competition, the Locked In World Cup Jamboree, whatever the name is. Thank you so much. YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Any other thing, guys? Facebook?
No, you hit it all.
I hit it all?
Did we?
Good.
Did we?
Don't drink and drive. Support your local MMA fighters. We got Combat Night Undisputed Promotions on February 9th, Orlando Live Event Center. John
Yeah,
Radford?
oh yeah, Orlando Live Event Center. That's gonna be a hell of a show. They got a stacked card on both sides for
Yeah.
the amateur boxing and the MMA side of it. Stacked card. It's gonna be
Kickboxing as well.
kickboxing as well. Absolutely, kickboxing as well. There's gonna be Chris Mixon's defending his title. You got another couple title fights on there that are gonna be absolutely awesome. And then the boxing side is going down.
When are you boxing again, John?
I don't
Put you
know,
on the
man.
spot right now.
The knee's getting better. It's getting better. It's gotta get more strength in my in the muscles around it and everything like that. But I may box at the end of the year once more time.
So you're coming out of retirement. You
Let's
did
go.
announce retirement.
I announced retirement like twice, guys. This is
He's the Michael Jordan of boxing. He's gonna be a wizard soon. He's gonna be like Gandalf the White. He is an asshole over there. I tightened up that one really well.
Oh wow, thank you so much.
Jordan, Wizards, Gandalf.
Who's
I'm
worse
here.
than Gandalf?
Island Fights 52, February 7th, Pensacola, Florida. We got the main event, Brock Weaver versus James Freeman. We got Chase Sherman on the card, knocking out heavyweights like always. Wesley Goldman's on the card. I love it, guys. Island Fights 52.
Should be good, baby. Should be good. Another
Count
great show.
Dooku. That's what it is. Count Dooku.
We just jumped to another category now.
I
Star Wars.
It just hit me. I was thinking about it.
Now I'm Count Dooku. I don't look. Oh,
No, you're
Got
not
the beard.
Dooku. He's Gandalf.
And it's just not white yet. There's a couple white hairs getting.
You're becoming soulless. You soulless ginger.
Wow, you pulled it. Way to wrap the episode, guys.
I know.
Like always.
Like always, guys,
Stay
stay locked in.
What'd I do to you?
What?
What'd I do? You came for my neck all night.
Wow, Max,
Came
not
from my
pulling
neck
any
all
punches
night.
tonight. Not pulling anything.
Gandalf the Grey, I'm egotistical. No, you're
Perfect.
Gandalf the White, you're the asshole one.
I'm not gonna lie. I want to record 2 more episodes about something totally different. I'm so into it right now.
That World
That-
Cup thing is genius.
I was an hour and 7 minutes of just pure bliss.
Because I was
That
like,
was
wait
crazy.
a second.
It was over an hour.
I was like, why isn't there a Super Bowl or anything?
There,
And I'm like, oh my
there
god.
needs to be.
And
That's
then
why I was trying to
before you
create
know
the
it, we
season.
just created
Oh, we're still live. Hey, YouTube. All right, guys. We'll see you later. I know you're an asshole.
You're gonna post that?
Yeah.